everyone, it's Renee here, and today I wanted to show you how I make these little, I'm not sure what to call them, but let's call them ephemera wallets or ephemera envelopes or something like that. I mean, they've got so many uses. They could be something that holds ephemera, they could be something that holds like a notepad or anything you can think of, really. So let's show you what they are. So on the front I've made it kind of faux envelopey, and then when we open it, this one has a pocket with a couple of postcards in it, and this got a different closure. And when we open this one's got a hidden paper clip there and small postcards, and let's put them back in. And this one has a band with some journaling cards, and I think this one has the same sort of thing, band with some journaling cards. Now, before I press on, these are a freebie in our shop, a digital freebie. So if you haven't already gone over and got these journaling cards, head to the shop. I'll put a link in the description box below. You can go and grab all of our freebies if you don't already have them. And I am going to be making these using some of the digitals, but you don't have to. You can use your favourite papers, you can use your favourite labels, you can use whatever you like. So let's crash on. All of the digitals, Puggy. Hello, Bobby. All of the digitals I use I will link below just in case you want to take a look at them. Alright, so first I am going to use this paper, and I'm going to start by folding it in half. And I need a bit of glue paper. Let's use a phone book and a glue stick. Yes, Puggy. Alright, glue all over one half. Don't put your paw in the glue. And press together. Like that. So we've got pattern on both sides. Right, it's important that if you're using something that has patterns or text and the orientation is important, it's going to be a portrait orientation. So make sure whatever you use has the ability to do that. You know, if your printing's all going to be sideways, it might not look as nice. Or your text or whatever you're using. Now, it's best to wait for this to dry because it tends to want to tear if you cut it while it's still damp, but we'll give it a shot. That was alright. That was alright. And that was good too. Yes, Pug, you've had food. Why do you want more food? Are you starving because you've never ever had food ever? Yeah, I'm sure you are. Let's go see what else we can give you. Okie dokie. So, now I want to figure out... Oops, no. Now I need to trim the rest of this off. Like that. Okay, so now I want to figure out which side I want the inside, which side I want the outside. This is the orientation I need. Let's make this the inside. So I'm going to fold this up like this. I don't really measure, but if you want the measurement, it is approximately 8 centimetres, 8.2 centimetres. And then I'm going to fold this part down, and I'm not going to fold it right up against this flap. I'm going to leave a little gap, about 2mm gap. So fold like that. So when it's open, you can still see a little bit of the inside. All right. Now I want to give it that sort of envelope feel. I'm going to use my mat to help me here. I'm going to find the middle. It's about there. And I'm going to use a pen. 2 centimetres in from this side, I'm going to mark a dot. 2 centimetres from this side, I'm going to mark a dot. And then using my ruler, 2 centimetres in and another 2 centimetres. So this is now 4 centimetres from the edge. Another dot here. 4 in, another dot here. I'm actually going to just connect those dots with the pen because I'm going to cut it with the scissors because I don't want to risk tearing it with my knife. So from this dot to that one, like that. This dot to that one, like that, and then across the line. Alright, keep this piece, we are going to use that. And now I want to ink all the edges. Okie dokie. Right, for this one I want to do the swivel closure like this one. So I'm going to use this leftover piece to make it. Now I just want to decide which side's going to be the outside, and I'm going to choose this side because it's a different colour to what's there. And I also want to make this a bit thicker, so I'm going to take a piece of card and my glue stick and glue this down to this piece of card. I'm just going to cut it out roughly. Like that. And then I'm going to glue on half of it and fold it in half again. Like that. Using this tool to press it down. So that's going to make us a nice thick piece for this turning swivel clasp thing. Okay, so I need to figure out which side's a bit shorter. This side's the bit shorter. By a bit shorter I mean it's not, it ends here where that slant starts being cut. So I'm going to use my glue lid and place it on top of the card and just draw a sort of rounded edge that I can cut out. Like that. Bit of ink all over, well, all over the edge should I say, we don't want to ink all over. Like that. I need my tiny hole punch, and I'm going to punch a hole. Which side do I want to be facing up? Yep, that one. Yep, that's the one. Put a little hole in the straight end centrally. Okay, so I need to position it. So I need to make sure that when I swivel it, that it's actually going to clear the whole label. So we want it to be a bit down from the side, and we need it to be down from the bottom. So about that far away should be sufficient. And then in order to make sure I get this central, let's use this. So about, I'm just eyeballing, I've used the grid to make sure I know where the central line is, and then I'm just eyeballing where I imagine that would be going up here. And I'm just going to pop a dot where that is. And then using my hole punch, I'm just going to punch out where that dot was, just like that. Now on the first one I made, the swivel motion tears the card a little bit, so as an experiment to see if I can counter that particular problem, I am going to make a sort of reinforcement ring. I've got this piece earlier that I folded over on itself. This will probably be sufficient. I'm going to punch a little hole. This was regular printer paper and I folded it 4 times. So essentially I folded it over on itself like that, and then I folded it back over. So that's what this is, 4 times regular printer paper. 80 GSM, should I say. Oh, this punch doesn't like thicker than that, so that's the thickest I can do. If you can do thicker, it'd probably work well, if not better. I'm just going to give it a little ink around the edge. So what I want to do, I've got these fasteners, which are those split pin fasteners, and I want to put this little donut we just made on there, and then I want to put the paddle closure on there. Now, I'm not gluing the circle, I'm hoping that it will do the turning for us. Okay, so next I'm going to put that through the hole, and I want to make sure that the tines open outwards towards the edges like this. And I'm going to turn it back over to this side. Now this is a kind of unnecessary step, but I'm a little pedantic. I want these to be super flat. So I'm going to push using the end of a pencil where it's got that rubber, or some people call it an eraser, on the end. Push it down just to flatten those pins. Now I'm going to have to pull this back up a little bit in a minute so that maybe I won't. Maybe it swirls just fine. That's probably good. Alright. So now I've got this on here. I want to cover it with a label. Now make sure you've got this up the right way. I'm going to pick a label. Alright, how about this? This, I like, this complements. And I've already used some. So I'm going to pick one of these. I think I like this one. And because I'm putting this over something that's a bit of a bump, I'm actually going to glue this onto the card so it's thicker. that out. Okay, a bit of ink on the white edge. And making sure this is up the right way, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to glue stick on the back of the tag, but I'm going to get a little art glitter glue for the back of the metal part. And I'm going to pop this here. I can't really press it down because of the lump of everything, so I'm going to turn it over and press it down from this side. Press, 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 press. Press, 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 press. Right. Oh, good. Okay, let's test it. Open, closed. It works pretty good. Alright, so now we need to decide what we want to do on the inside. Alright, so I think for this one I might put in a little pocket, maybe a sort of side pocket, and I can tuck things in like that. Let's give it a try. Can't hurt to try. So I need to get another piece of the paper. Here's some I've printed on card already, so I'm just going to pick a colour that I like the look of, but it isn't exactly the same. Maybe if we go more brown. Like that one. That one, I think. I printed these on card because these are good for making the pockets and other things you want a little bit stiffer. So, if I'm just doing a little side pocket, it might be cute to have that little part there. So I'm going to trim off a little bit more than I think I need. Let's make sure we get this straight. So there. I'm not going to bother cutting off the white edges. I'm going to fold it under as part of the pocket. So I'm going to start by making a fold here. I'm folding that in. It's going to be one part of the pocket, and I'll pop it on. I want to leave a little gap at the top and a little gap at the bottom. I'm just going to use a pen to mark where I want to put the next fold. So just there. So here. Fold. I'm going to trim some of this excess off. That's a cute little piece with some text on it, so that'll go in the scraps box. And then I need to do the same thing along the back of the pocket. Fold that there. Fold that under. Okay. I'm going to take my scissors and trim across all the corners where the folds intersect. Like that. Puggy's back. Hello, Booby. You can't possibly be hungry. Oh, you've never had food? I'm pretty sure I just fed you like 10 minutes ago. Was it more? Was it like a year? A year? Oh, that's terrible. Come here, give me a cuddle. Yes, oh, that's what you want, isn't it? Cuddle. You can go on the desk. You sit down on the desk. You sit back here. You can sit on the desk back here. There you go. Right, I'm going to use a circle punch, if I can find what I've done with it, to take a notch out in the middle. Not a notch out of Puggy. No one can see. You're adorable. Come on then. Alright, let's try this again. I'm going to use this circle punch. Excuse my son in the background. He's not dying, he is just excited. Punch that there. Okay. So, looks like we've had a little Puggy destruction. This is going to go over here, like this. Let's put a little glue on all of the flaps. Okay. Placing that down here. Like that. And then we need something to tuck in. Got a bunch of little cutouts from one of the other digis. So I'll just pop a few pieces in. It's a bit big. What else have we got? Maybe trim one of those down. Like that. And he's back. Never satisfied, Puggy. Right, so there we have a little side pocket ephemera wallet envelope. I think on the front I might do a couple of labels, if Puggy will let me. So let's grab, what about those? It's a bit too, oops. Alright, I can use one of those and one of these. So I'm going to take this one here. Ink the edges. Didn't cut that well. Okay, and the glue cat's tail. Hold up, Puggy. Stick that that there. Yes, 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 yes. I know you want more chicken, but you've had enough chicken. And just this. No more chicken. No, no, you're scratching me. That hurt. Okay, little ink. Little ink around the puggy. Don't sit on the glue stick. Let's put some glue on there. Stick that there. Like a little faux envelope. Ta-da! Alright, we'll leave that there today. Thanks for watching today, and Puggy and I will see you next time. Bye! Bye!